welcome to Gladiators of the Cage. I'm Chris Shublin. A very pleasant good evening to you. I'm here with Cody Tuttle and Brian Fyock, and Jessica Evil Eye, professional women's fighter, who'll serve as our ring announcer, and our ring reporter will be along a little bit later in the program. We're here tonight at Stage AE on the North Shore of Pittsburgh. And gentlemen, this truly is going to be a war on the North Shore.
Absolutely. Gladiators of the Cage has really been striving to provide quality MMA entertainment in the Pittsburgh area, and they're back at Stage AE again with another stellar card.
That's right. This event is called North Shore's Rise to Power. I think we're in for a powerful show this evening.
I believe we are too. Let's take a look at our card tonight. We have 12 power-packed bouts tonight, both amateurs and professionals. Now, let's take a look at it right now on your screen. The first match is going to be Boy versus Coing. Then we're going to see Sakuda versus Basham. And how about this? We're going to make history here tonight in the city of Pittsburgh with the first women's fight ever, Chesny versus Richmond.
That's going to be a fun one. These ladies are ready to go. One of them, Jessica's even an attorney. She does battle in the courtroom. Now it's going to be in the cage.
It'll be interesting in the cage tonight. Let's look elsewhere on the card. Basilivac versus Bradley. Vickers versus Young. Sakuda versus Wright. And a good one tonight, we're expecting Schultz versus Keys.
Zach Schultz is coming in off a loss in a title fight. It'll be interesting to see how he can rebound against Dave Keys and get back in the winning column.
All right, let's take a look at the rest of the card. The professional fights. Abdurak Monazov versus Calderon tonight. Wally versus Van Buren. It's going to be Willett versus Wilkins. And how about Mazada versus Jaeger? That's our co-main event.
Jaeger's stepping in on his pro debut against Dom Mazada. Tough guy, fan favorite here in Pittsburgh. It'll be interesting to see how Jaeger stacks up against Mazada.
Now introducing the main event tonight. It's going to be Chris Dempsey and Louis Rumsey. That's going to be a wild one.
Absolutely. Chris Dempsey is one tough customer, lifelong wrestler. Rumsey had trouble making weight. It's going to be an interesting one tonight.
Let's take a look at the rules here tonight. First of all, for the amateur rules, brought to you by Fiesta Chiropractic. Our amateur rules, each bout is 3 2-minute rounds. There will be 3 judges, and points are based on effective striking, grappling, and control. Elsewhere, you must wear shin protection and a heavier glove if you're an amateur. You're not allowed to kick or elbow to the head, and no ground and pound.
Ground and pound refers to striking once the fighters are on the ground. The Pennsylvania State Athletic Commission feels that amateurs should be weaned into the rules, and they reserve that for professional fighters only.
Now the Armstrong County Memorial Hospital professional rules. There will be 3 5-minute rounds with the exception of the main event tonight. It's going to be 5 5-minute rounds.
Title fights in mixed martial arts are typically 5 5-minute rounds. They want to make sure that these is the best of the absolute best.
Let's take a look at the matchup right now. Mason Boy, 5'8", Justin Coing, 5'7". Boy comes in at 135 pounds, so does Coing. As you mentioned, this will be their debut bout, and the reach just about even. Now let's pick up the action in round 2.
Looks like they did a decent job on the cut. Oh, but Boy just goes right to it, landing stiff jabs. Boy's getting the better of the stand-up, which is why Coing just went for a single leg. He's got him up against the cage.
He's looking to finish this single leg and take the fight back down to the ground. Switches from the single to the double, and he ends up right into side control. Mason's got a hold of his head, but not a whole lot of options from there. Coing can hit that hard crossface and stay in the dominant position.
It looks a lot worse than it is to the outside observer when an arm is around the neck like that. It's uncomfortable, but he's really not in the threat of a submission there.
He's really just buying time at this point so that he can regain his guard.
Which he just did.
He gets the overhook, and he's looking to go back to that triangle.
Back in, Justin, back in. There you go. Get it tight, get the position.
Quick pass from Coing again, back to the dominant position, looking to isolate the arm for either a armbar or a Kimura.
Take his back, Justin. Take his back.
Opts for the armbar again.
Roll him, Justin.
And Justin has to roll Mason over top to finish from the side, which he just accomplished.
He's in a good spot here if he can break the grip.
He's in a great spot. He's low on time. He's extending the arm.
And he gets the submission. Well, he really worked for that armbar, and the work paid off, the perseverance.
Yeah, absolutely. He had to follow it around. He started off on bottom, swept him over to the top,
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner by tap out by armbar at 141 of the second round, fighting from the red corner from Team AMS, Matt Basham!
Now let's take a look at our fight matchup here. Sakuda 6'2", 185 pounds with a record of 1-0, a 74-inch reach. Basham comes in 6'1", also 185. He is 0-1 so far, and his reach 73 inches measured. Let's pick up the action in round 3.
This is going to be an exciting third round. I'm looking forward to this one.
Sakuda, I understand, is a machinist. Is that correct?
Yeah, you know, he works a full-time job as a machinist, and, you know, it's got to be hard to balance training and a full-time job, but he's doing a pretty good job.
Nice leg kick by Basham. Nice round kick. That set things up here for another takedown attempt by Basham. He got it.
This corner's calling for knees to the body from side control. Sakuda's looking to hip escape and regain his guard, but Basham's controlling the top position really well, stepping over to mount again. He's had a lot of success securing the mounted position. You know, it just doesn't have a whole lot of options from here without punches to the head.
Nice reversal there by Sakuda.
Yeah, Sakuda used a basic Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu escape, and got back out of a bad position and into the guard. Basham's looking to isolate a hand and climb up for a triangle, but Sakuda backs out and they're back on the feet.
Last minute of the round here, these guys are going to go for broke, I believe. Ooh. Whoa, big shots by Sakuda. Wow.
Basham loses his mouthpiece in the exchange, but drives right back in for the takedown.
Great fight going on right now. Matt Basham, Jeremy Sakuda giving it their all.
Referee Chip Snyder stopped the bout to get the mouthpiece back in. They'll probably restart in the same position. Got to keep the fighters safe. That is the referee's #1 job, is fighter safety.
Matt Basham got rocked. This is actually a big help for him right now. He got hit hard by Sakuda. Those were some big shots.
All right, they're repositioning the fighters right where they were.
Basham has a great instinct. When he gets rocked, he comes right for that takedown. Now he's got Sakuda on the ground, and he got to collect his thoughts a little bit there, getting his mouthpiece put back in.
Yeah, he's had great success with that takedown. I'm not sure that any of his attempts have been stifled by Sakuda.
How do you think the judges are going to look at that? You know, those big shots by Sakuda landed, or Basham on top, although we got a sub attempt here by Sakuda.
Well, Sakuda's got to work fast to finish this triangle. He's pulling on the foot. The 10-second bell goes off. We may see a last-minute finish here.
This is close.
Right here, this is it.
Oh, wow.
There's the horn.
Wow, what a fight. Excellent fight. Lot of heart.
Your winner by unanimous decision, fighting out of the red corner, Matt Basham!
Matt Basham gets the victory here. Next bout, Jamie Chesney and Jessica Richmond here in Gladiators of the Cage. And as we keep telling you, this is a history-making event in front of a great crowd here at Stage AE on the North Shore of Pittsburgh. This is the first women's fight in Pittsburgh history, guys. What kind of bout do we expect from these two ladies?
Well, I'll tell you what, both of them look as nice as can be. However, I'm quite certain that they've come to do battle tonight. Both of them, they like to box. They like Muay Thai. They like to stand up. That's what I understand from both of them. Jessica says she likes to wrestle a little bit too, so, you know, could be interesting on the feet starting out.
There's our matchup right there. Jamie Chesney, 5'8", 135, 68-inch reach. Jessica Richmond, 5'6", 135 with a 68.5-inch reach. Her record 1-0. Let's go to Dan.
We're about to make Pittsburgh MMA history at this time. It is the first ladies MMA fight ever in Pittsburgh. It has been billed as the Pennsylvania Turnpike Cat Fight. First, let's welcome from the blue corner. She has a record of 1 win, no losses. She stands 5 foot 6 inches tall and weighed in at 140 pounds. She fights out of the Brazen Boxing and MMA Club. She's from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. It's Jessica Lady J. Richmond. And her opponent making her amateur debut. She stands 5'8" tall. She weighs in at 138 pounds. She fights out of complete martial arts. She's from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Welcome, Jamie Chesney.
I'll tell you what, these ladies have the crowd excited about this next match.
No doubt about it.
Historic night here. First women's fight in Pittsburgh history. Right here in Gladiators of the Cage.
Both of these ladies look ready to go. The only thing stopping them is referee Chip Snyder.
They've latched the cage door and we are ready to start. Our Low Jacks Yamaha round clock will keep tabs on what's going on time-wise for you.
Jessica Richmond circling to the outside and Chesney just running her to the cage. Looks like she's going to start working for underhooks and a takedown.
She was able to shut the underhooks and circle back out to the center of the cage.
Richmond definitely looks like she wants to keep this standing. Strong boxing, good movement.
Big takedown. Utilized the clinch, double underhooks, just picked her up and dropped her back down.
Even though both of these ladies have fought before, they came out with a lot of fire, I think. Kind of like the guys debuting, you know, they got a lot of pressure on their shoulders. First women's fight in Pittsburgh. It's a big deal.
Richmond was able to stand up and pass the guard briefly, but Jamie Chesney was able to utilize some flexibility there and regain her guard.
Strong shots to the body by Chesney. Bruce, she looks much more comfortable here. What do you think?
Well, she's doing a good job of smothering her with a crossface from top half guard, but I think she was just drawn back into the guard where she's going to have to improve her position in order for Chip Snyder to not stand the action back up.
Chesney now inside control, going to Kesakatami here, position almost, not quite.
Coming down to the 22nd mark in the round.
Looks like she's putting on a whole lot of pressure with her left arm on that crossface. Doing a really good job of maintaining that side control, switching to the Kesakatami to avoid the regard attempts of Jamie Chesney.
Getting set for the horn. That will end round one.
Wow.
An aggressive start.
Ended that round with a submission attempt right at the end there.
Getting ready to start round two. First women's match in the history of the city of Pittsburgh, and it's Jamie Chesney from Pittsburgh and Jessica Richmond from Philadelphia.
Rossi, you ready? You ready? Come on, let's fight!
Going to the Muay Thai clinch. And another big takedown from the body lock.
Jamie's much more comfortable on the ground for sure. Jamie Chesney back in the guard of Jessica Richmond.
A lot of flexibility being shown off here in this guard retention. Nice reversal from the half guard to get her back on top. Hometown crowd's cheering now that she's back on top. She's got to fight off that armbar attempt. Corner's calling for her to maintain a low posture to avoid that arm lock attempt. Looking for that armbar off the bottom. Doing a really good job of avoiding it though.
Coming down to the last half minute of round 2, Chesny and Richmond.
She keeps going back to that double underhooks to get her takedowns, and she's 3 for 3 with that. Steps right over to Mount. She may have won the round with this last-minute takedown, and Mount.
And there's the horn ending round 2. That takedown shook the entire building.
That was a big one. Someone's got some blood here.
Looks like a lot of that blood may have been coming from the nose of Jessica Richmond. The corner was trying to slow it down in between rounds. It's already starting back up again.
Yep, there it goes.
If I were Chesney, I'd definitely go for that nose. She's a boxer. She's going to be looking for it right away.
That's exactly where she's going.
Absolutely. Richmond's got to look for that takedown again.
Chesny with a Superman punch there. Didn't quite land it.
Here we go. She's got the clinch, looking for the underhooks. Switch to a double leg. Another huge takedown.
Big takedown. Wow.
Looks like she's trying to isolate an arm from on top. The threat with that, though, is that if she fails, she ends up giving up top position.
Yeah, and Chesney really wants to be careful reaching up to the chest, to the shoulders of Richmond here on the ground. You're really opening yourself up.
Yeah, she'll really expose that arm. Looks like she's trying to hip escape and capture one of the legs, get back to half guard, but Richmond's just laying on the heavy pressure.
And really, with this being amateurs without ground and pound, you know, Richmond, she just wants to control on top, dominate on top, at least look active for submissions so that Chip Snyder doesn't stand them back up. And she can pull out this round if she keeps dominating.
Looks like she's close to setting up that arm bar.
Chesney's rolling into her body. She's defending pretty well here.
Richmond's on it, though. Looks like she lost it.
She gave it up.
She's got to scramble back on top.
Chesney's got to get up here. I think she's got to get up and land some shots to that nose. Wow.
Richmond did a good job of recovering after that failed armbar attempt to get back on top.
10 seconds left.
This third round's been all Richmond, following that takedown right to the mount. Submission attempt.
Two tremendous athletes going at it here in Gladiators of the Cage. Jessica Richmond, Jamie Chesney.
That, my friends, is what you call a war. That was a battle.
Dan Bogan is up in the ring to make the official announcement.
Let's hear it for both of these ladies making MMA history in Pittsburgh this evening. I have our judges' decision. All three judges scored it 30-27. For your winner, fighting out of the blue corner, Jessica Lady J. Richmond!
Jessica Richmond is the winner from Philadelphia in Brazing Boxing and MMA. And Richmond the winner here in this first ever women's fight in Pittsburgh. And we saw some amazing action from these two great lady athletes. Coming up, we've got more Gladiators of the Cage. It'll be Vickers and Young right after we take this break.
Did you ever consider using a chiropractor as your primary healthcare provider? Chiropractic care can maximize fertility, health, energy, and moods, and can even eliminate the need for many drugs or medications. Just like going to a gym or to your dentist, chiropractic care is preventative. Call today for your free report or to schedule your no-risk consultation. Call 1-800-461-ADIO now.
Family owned and operated since 1956, Gillette Towing and Services are here for you. Our tow trucks operate 7 days a week, 24 hours a day when you need a tow. We offer hauling of heavy machinery and freight and can move oversized loads with escorts and cover all 48 lower states. Our excavation, demolition, and paving equipment can take care of any construction project you're working on, large or small. If your car needs repairs, we can handle mechanical as well as inspection and emissions. Call us today at 724-226-1222 or visit our website at rongillettinc.com.
Now, a look at the matchup between O.J. Vickers and Clark Young. Vickers, 6 feet tall, 240 pounds, record of 5 wins and 13 defeats, a 74-inch reach. Clark Young is 6'1" and 240. His record 3-2. His reach 75 inches. Now, let's pick up the action in round 2.
I think O.J. Vickers just switched his stance to a traditional.
Yeah, he's been switching his stance between orthodox and traditional. Southpaw and orthodox.
He's giving up his back again. Let's see if he can hit that same roll that he did in the first round. Clark's hammering away at the body, trying to open up the neck to get the rear naked choke.
Yeah, he wasn't putting a lot behind those shots. I think he was trying to open O.J. up. Big knee to the body. Just laid O.J. out on the ground here. That looked like it hurt quite a bit. Could have caught the liver there.
He's trapping the arm in between his near legs. Looking to tie up an Americana, but Vickers defends well.
I took a liver shot in training a week ago, and it put me right down. Those things do not feel good at all. So if Vickers caught that in the liver at all, he's still recovering for sure.
Under a minute in round 2.
Clark Young's got some time to work. He's trying to set up the Kimura, and he's got an arm trapped.
There it is.
I think Clark Young is pretty excited that he landed a submission. I don't know how often he's won by submission. I think he likes to throw big bombs, but he pulled off a submission there.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner by tap out via the Kimura at 1 minute, 13 seconds of the second round, fighting out of the blue corner from Schrader MMA, Clark Young.
Now let's take a look at the matchup. Basilivac, 5 feet 9 inches tall, 185 pounds, a record of 0-1, 69-inch reach. And Derek Bradley at 5'11", 185 pounds, 0-7 so far, a 70-inch reach. Now let's pick up the action in round 2. Chip Snyder checking the cage and says, let's go.
I believe the corner of Basilivac wants him to keep it standing. He was having good success, landing good shots against Bradley. Bradley, he crosses his feet. He does some things in you wouldn't normally see in boxing. A couple of fundamental issues, and he's taking shots now from Basilivac.
Basilivac landing a lot of damage there. They both kind of just fell onto the ground. Bradley was able to lock up his guard.
Basilivac, he's a shorter guy, so it's hard for him to fight tall. And then as he's coming in, he's hampering his own strikes because he's really coming in close. If he stayed just a half a step back, he might be able to continue landing strikes as opposed to just bull rushing straight in. We'll see if he tries to employ a more, strategic discipline tactic in that way if they stand back up.
Bradley's using head control to keep Basilivac's posture down, but not a whole lot of offense, so Chip Snyder stands him back up.
Great boxing trainer Teddy Atlas talks about not smothering yourself in your punches. You got to fight tall, got to use the space well, and you don't want to smother your own punches. Really become an enemy against yourself.
Bradley initiating a takedown, gets his head caught by Basilivac in that guillotine, and Basilivac finishes it right up against the cage.
That's it.
Well, he didn't have to worry about going back to striking because he caught that submission. The same way a tall guy can do a standing guillotine, if the shorter guy gets the tall guy folded up against the cage in that guillotine, it's tough.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner via tap out, courtesy of the guillotine choke at 1 minute 19 seconds of the second round. Fighting out of the red corner from Team AMS, Michael Basilivac.
Coming up next, it'll be Sakuda and Wright as we continue on Gladiators of the Cage.
Where you gonna go when the night gets cold? When the stars are black and the ground is cold. And then you're gonna find me, honey, find me, honey, find me, honey. Then you're gonna find me, honey. Right on now, baby, right on.
Available at LoJack's Yamaha in Tarentum, 724-226-3727.
Family owned and operated since 1956, Gillette Towing and Services are here for you. Our tow trucks operate 7 days a week, 24 hours a day when you need a tow. We offer hauling of heavy machinery and freight and can move oversized loads with escorts and cover all 48 lower states. Our excavation, demolition, and paving equipment can take care of any construction project you're working on, large or small. If your car needs repairs, we can handle mechanical as well as inspection and emissions. Call us today at 724-226-1222 or visit our website at rongiletteinc.com.
Take a look at the matchup. Ryan Sakuda, 5 feet 7 inches tall, 145 pounds, a record of 2 wins, no defeats, a reach of 67 inches, and he'll take on Derek Wright, 5 feet 9 inches tall, weighing 145 pounds as well. His record, 3-0, and his reach at 69 inches. Let's pick up the action in round 3.
Aside from those submissions, he's staying heavy on top.
There it is, right off the bat, big right hand, round kick. Oh, huge shots by Sakuda.
Big combination.
Right for the takedown and
Surprising reversal by Wright. Sakuda should have just stayed up on top. Now he's
in a lot of
giving up his
trouble.
back.
He's in a lot of trouble. He was absolutely dominating on the feet. But like I said, you go right to that instinct. His instinct is to take down, and it's very hard for guys to go against their instincts. Now he's just kind of stalling.
This is right where Derek Wright finished his last fight by submission, looking for that rear naked choke.
We have a lot of blood coming down too now.
Looks like it's from Derek Wright. Those big punches prior to the reversal.
Sakuda is just turtled up. He's hoping for a stand-up here. He's really not doing anything to escape. And Derek Wright has really...
Looks like he's almost under the chin. He's on the chin, putting a lot of pressure on it, but he's got to get under it to really finish.
50 seconds left in the round. And that's going to do it.
Derek Wright comes from behind and finishes it.
Unbelievable. And the question yet remains why Sakuda took that to the ground. He took it to his own demise.
Let's hear it for both of these gladiators putting on a whale of a fight this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner by tap out due to the rear naked choke at 1 minute, 14 seconds of the third round. Fighting out of the red corner from the Dragon's Den MMA, Derek Wright.
What a match that was. More great action here on Gladiators of the Cage with Schultz and Keys coming up next. Gladiators of the Cage, brought to you by Armstrong County Memorial Hospital, by Vesta Chiropractic, by Ron Gillette Incorporated, by Taylor's Auto Repair.
Did you ever consider using a chiropractor as your primary health care provider? Chiropractic care can maximize fertility, health, energy, and moods, and can even eliminate the need for many drugs or medications. Just like going to a gym or to your dentist, chiropractic care is preventative. Call today for your